Hello everybody, welcome to Fallout 4. This is a video on my water farm and I'm going to show you what I've done at the Warwick Homestead location to give you some ideas. Right, I use this location primarily for a water farming and pretty much nothing else. So let's get into it. So there's a couple areas, in fact there's about 4 areas in this location that you can actually use for water farming. The main one is right on the ocean side. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of water purifiers. You can get quite a few of them in there. Just make sure that you use the big ones, which generate about 40 water, and then the small ones, which generate about 10. The small ones are kind of cool because you can actually get them into very tight spaces. They only generate 10 water, but you can get a lot of them in there, right? And they need actually very little water to actually get them to work, right? You can put them right on the beach with just one of the legs in the water generally, and you'll be able to get them work. Another tip is put a container near your workbench. This way you can store any excess water in it. So if you're not trading or selling or need the water, you can come back. If you don't do that, then it won't generate any more water, right? So it's always good to have a reserve because in some cases it doesn't. The second tip is to make sure you have no dirty water in your workbench, because if it sees dirty water, it considers it as water and it won't generate any water either, right? And then third thing is make sure you still have some water, manual water taps around your premises or your settlement. That way if you take all the water, then your happiness level won't go down and your settlers will still have water to use around, right? So okay, so I'm going to show you my other areas where I have water generators. There's a couple on the side wall at the back here. It's a little tricky to actually build there, but you can actually do it. I'll show you where I've put them. You kind of have to jump down in some cases because so the workbench doesn't exit, and then build them and then come back, and then you need to route power to the one side. So just to the left here I had to route power just from where I'm looking down there, and then to the right over the top. There's a little shed there, so I put a power pylon just on the shed and then a routed power. So I have 2 water purifiers just down at the bottom here. At this corner I have 3 at the other corner, just to my right there. And then there's 2 huge water tanks here that I've just populated with both the larger water purifiers and the smaller water purifiers. And you can actually get a lot in there, right? And we'll take a closer look at that, but there's a lot of opportunity to actually put some water purifiers. As you can see at the bottom here, I have 3 there at the moment. Just make sure you protect your water purifiers. When the raiders do come, and if you're not home, they will destroy all of them. I just built this and I had raiders show up and I was busy doing something, I didn't bother coming, and they basically just destroyed my generator and all my water purifiers that I just built, and I had to repair every single one of them, right? It was unbelievable, right? So just make sure you put walls around them. As you can see, I have walls on the outside, and then when you want to get into them, you just basically move a wall, go to workshop mode, and you can actually move a wall and then get in, and that'll prevent anyone from opening the door and then destroying your water purifiers. Now they could spawn in here, it does happen. I had a mutant spawn in my beach, at the beach area. He didn't destroy any water purifiers, but I just happened to be on site protecting the settlement, so that might be why. So anyway, so you can actually see I have a whole bunch of the 10 water larger water purifiers, and then I have a whole bunch of smaller ones, and I was even able to put some in the bridge here, which is unusual. As you can see down there, I have my 3 to the left there. So you actually can get down there, so make use of every area that you can. Also build bridges over them so you can actually check when you do get attacked, or while you're building you can actually make sure that each one has power. You can actually also link the water purifiers in serial, which means you can connect them to each one another. There's no big deal on doing that. I've done them to all my settlements. The only caveat, of course, is if one gets blown up, it'll take out the rest of them, and if you don't notice, then you won't have any water. So just keep that in mind. Not a big deal. You know, you want to make sure none of your water purifiers are smoking, and obviously if you show up at a settlement and you have no water, then probably something's wrong, right? So just go around and make sure that each one has power and there's no red requirement of having power. The other thing that you might want to have is the water perk. The water perk allows you to walk in the water and breathe in the water, and then you can get around, because I spent a lot of time, especially at this location underwater, trying to get various water purifiers in different positions and testing them and making sure that I can get them there, and that does actually help. I had a settler with me in the water, walking around underwater. It was kind of funny that she didn't seem to die, but she was actually walking around with me while I was building all these water purifiers with no problem. So I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, it does help having that perk, right? So there you go. That's pretty much it. My other location, my large locations for water purifiers is the Sanctuary, of course, Norhagen Beach as well. There's a lot of area to put some water purifiers there, especially the little ones there. And of course, let's not forget the Vault 88. I'll probably have 20 water purifiers in Vault 88. So yeah, if you have them spread out, you can just visit each location when you either close by or you need water, or if one area doesn't generate water, you just go to another location and then you've got water supplies, right? And if you save water, then you'll basically have unlimited water, which means you'll have unlimited caps, and then you can sell as much as you want. I will be making a video on the Norhagen Beach location where I add some water purifiers, and you can see how I do that. But if you're interested, then watch some of my other videos. And that's pretty much it for this video. Just lastly, I will be talking about my door here. I created a power two-way door out of just a couple of simple switches. It's probably a better way of doing it, but that's the way I did it, to try and stop them from getting in, but that didn't actually help since they spawned right inside. So, but if you're interested, continue watching. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and please hit that like button. And if you like my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. In this piece, I'm talking about a power door. So you can get a power door that you need powered, but of course it only gets powered from one side. So I wanted to have a switch that I can open from both sides. It's a little tricky, so I'm going to kind of try and walk you through it. Obviously both switches need power, the door needs power, so adding a switch to the door, very easy. Use power the door, not a big deal. Problem is when you're outside, then you can't actually open the door. So that's kind of the issue here, right? So you kind of have to build a switch. Now there are some logic switches which I don't understand, so there's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm going to show you how I did it, just using just two simple switches, which takes a little bit to get in and out. Now the merchants still actually do spawn inside. So if you look at my settlement here, cricket does actually show up inside, and the mules show inside. I don't know how they get through those doors, but obviously they spawn inside, right? So yeah, it's just the outside view of my 3 water purifiers, and then my 2 there, right? So I just put the wall here to try and protect. They typically don't attack from the water, so I think these ones are fine. In fact, I don't think I had to repair these. I might have, but yeah, there's a couple you can squeeze in here, and you probably can get some smaller ones in there perhaps. Okay, so back to the power switch here. As you can see, I also have these pylons just outside the door to try and prevent them from coming in. Again, they do get in, but so there you go. I can open and close the switch, and then if you go inside, so the trick here is that you switch one switch, then you go outside, you switch the other switch, you come back inside, you switch it, and then you switch the outside switch. So you basically have to do 4 switches to actually get it to open and close from each side. So that's possible to do. So simple door, each one needs power, as I mentioned. You can see I have a conduit at the top there, couple conduits up there. So as you can see, there's my power coming from my generators into this pylon, and then I feed the door just to the right there at the top, and then the switch has power. So the power goes to this switch, and then from that switch, the actual connection goes to the other switch. So that's kind of where the key is, right? To make sure they both work, right? So let me try and get a closer look here. I'm just gonna try and build a ladder here quick to show you what I've actually done. But basically you need to connect both switches together, and then both ones are powered, and then the door's powered, and then basically to open and close the door is you hit the inside switch, you go outside, you hit the outside switch, you come back inside, you hit the inside switch, and then when you hit the outside switch for the 4th time, or the 2nd time rather, but you've done 4 switches or switching, then you can actually get the door to open and close, right? Which is kind of cool, in a way. Okay, so let's open the door, and then we're gonna go outside, and we're gonna climb up, and then I'll just see if I can show you a better view of how those are connected. Okay, so I have 2 conduits at the top. As you can see, the one conduit close to me is feeding power, so it's going from the generator, and then the other conduits here are basically the 2 switches connected together, right? So that's all it's really doing there, and then it just allows you to open and close the power door if you want to build that and have an inside and outside switch. Obviously, if you build in a house or something, you're gonna have to get that power through the wall somehow and make it easier, right? Anyway, I thought I'd show you those for those who are curious about power doors and want to create it and want to create a 2-way tap switch. There you go, and that might stop some sellers from getting in and out. I don't know, probably unlikely because they'll probably figure they can't get in. So, well, they'll be smart enough and then click on the switches, but it doesn't actually open. So if you try and if you close it from the inside and then you come on the outside and you click the switch, it's going to do nothing, right? So you know, the other thing, for those that don't know, you can actually change the spawning location. So you don't spawn outside. Typically for this location you spawn a little bit outside the wall here, so you can actually change it. So there's a mat you can just put on the floor, so I put it by the workbench, and that way you don't have to deal with the door and open close each time, and then you can just leave it closed most of the time. There you go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.